Hello everyone, it's Brano, and I wanted to talk about sort of where I'm at with Healed to Death because we're in the polishing phase, which means it's also kind of the compromising phase. So we've got 2.5 months left before release, and once we hit release, well, it's probably going to be the end of development unless it gets some attention. I may do like a patch 1.1 and a patch 1.2, that type of thing. But there's basically 2 milestones left. There's 2 milestones left before I can consider this project done. And the first milestone is getting to Next Fest. So I am going to be participating in the February Next Fest for Steam. And so that's in basically 1 month from now. So I need to make the game as good as it possibly can be. So what am I doing at the moment? Well, all the major items are done. Today I was doing a bunch of shader compilation stuff to try and improve the initial player experience from like having to load a new 3D material, like just stutter a tiny bit, load it, all right, cool, it's good for now. So I'm trying to get like 99% of that all done within like a shader compilation phase, and then there's probably going to be a couple of shaders I missed during that phase, which, you know, it's a really shitty part of 3D development that I was not expecting. But now that I know, I can be like, all right, cool. Well, I know how to mostly debug it. And unfortunately, though, I have this situation where sometimes when you are initially playing the game and you complete the tutorial and you go to do the next zone, the next level does not load properly and it's inconsistent, and I don't know how to replicate it consistently. I've replicated it once because somebody reported it, and I can never replicate it again. Absolute pain in the butt. That's just kind of how it is. So yeah, basically I am just playtesting my game. I'm writing down a couple of feedback items here and there, and then I am making changes to address those feedback items, and that's basically all I'm doing. So it's mostly just going to be visual and sound related issues. There's going to be a little bit of balance. There's going to be some bugs. There's going to be some things that it's like, oh, I missed this. I really need to fix this issue. Like, oh, I forgot to add certain animations to certain abilities, that type of thing. So yeah. Um, so that's kind of like what I'm doing. Now, on the art front, as I said, the polishing phase is also the compromising phase, and I have not received as much art as I was expecting during the development of Heal to Death from my artist. Unfortunately, her life kind of got a bit chaotic. I don't know exactly what happened, but she kind of let me know a bit in advance, like, hey, things are going on, and yeah, I haven't received as much art as I want. So now I've had to create a new plan to try and adjust for having significantly less art than expected within the game. So what we're doing is we're going to reuse a lot of the existing rigs and animations for enemy models, which, you know, it's not 100% ideal, but at least it gets the game across the line, because I don't really want to work on this more than April, and she's kind of like, yeah, I can't see myself doing it more than April, but she's sticking with me. I'm just happy. I'm just happy she's sticking with me, so all is good on that front, and she is delivering on the minimal things that we needed to get in April. We seem to be ahead of what I was expecting the schedule to be, so maybe we'll get a little bit more than the bare minimum and the bare minimum that we agreed upon for the April release. So I'm hoping. I don't want to jinx it. I really don't want to jinx it, but I think like part of the other issue is that I have learned through development that I am so bad at art that it's not salvageable for me. Like, I put some effort into art, and I've had to make a lot of the environment art. Like, almost all of the environment art is me. I haven't done the dungeon textures, and then there are some kind of like bone models and some mushroom models that another person did. but everything else is me, and my artist has done the character model, so I'm very kind of grateful for that. But yeah, I just don't have the talent to fix a lot of the art issues, and so the question is like, do I even touch it? And quite often the answer is, maybe if it makes the game worse, I'm not going to touch it. If it makes the game better, maybe I'll add a little bit. Like, I am thinking maybe I'll add a couple more environment set pieces to decorate the levels a tiny bit more and such. But yeah, like, there's just certain elements of the game where, like, yeah, if I touch it, I'm gonna make the game worse. But I don't know, I am making the majority of the game. Well, yeah, no, it's my game, so I have made the majority of it. So we're just kind of working through that. One of the things that I recently did is that I've paid for voice acting. So I've got these intro cinematics and outro cinematics now for my game, and kind of like before I had some placeholder one which is like 3 segments long and it was boring, so who cares about that. But I got a new one. I'm hoping that the guy can do like a really good Warcraft 2 human mission briefing voice, and once I get that into the game, should be in time for next fest, and I'm really excited to hear that. So yeah, just really excited. Otherwise, waiting for my artist's art, and I have a friend who said that he would do music, but I don't know if that's going to happen. You know, when people say they'll do something for you and there's no financial reward for them because they're just like, hey, that sounds cool. I want to be involved. I want to make a couple of tracks for you. It's like, all right, cool. Send me them, and I'll add them in the game. Here are my deadlines. And you know, if you get a piece of music, then that's really cool. If you don't, that's totally fine as well. I am adapting to make sure that I will release this game in April, no matter what I get. So, one of the other things I'm doing is kind of preparing my promotional material. So, throughout, like, since pretty early on in development, I have been getting a spreadsheet where I list down kind of content creators, YouTubers or Twitch streamers, who I think have an audience overlap with my game. And currently I have 150 different people. I'm probably going to go through and add a bunch more at some point, just like scour the World of Warcraft section and just go like, all right, anyone with above like 100 viewers, I'll just send this to, and I'll send an email and see if they want to play Steam Next Fest, and then I'll probably just send them a free Steam key, and maybe they will cover my game at some point. You know, I've really had to go through a lot of different people to like work out, all right, what's kind of an audience overmatch, because there is no other 3D healer game. Like, I can look at who's played the 2D healer games, and not a lot of people have made too much content out of them. Like, the biggest one is Soda Poppin', so I'm hoping that Soda Poppin' will play my game during, like, a shit show Sunday or something. I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe I've got someone who can, like, if he plays it, that's awesome. That's so much promotion. But otherwise, can't rely on it. You do it, and you see what happens. Otherwise, I'm going to be redoing the trailer for the Steam Next Fest. I've got an event which I've got to make a trailer for. I've got the trailer for the release, which I'll do at the very end. And then I'm also probably, once we hit to like early February, so not the beginning of Feb, but like probably a week in, I'm going to be asking the artist to redo the capsule art and redo the logo of Healed to Death to make sure that the Steam Next Fest looks as good as possible. Because really, I am hoping that Steam Next Fest can give me the wish lists and the kind of momentum and attention that I am hoping the game gets. Because the wish list situation, not very good at the moment. I think it's like 375. I am above one wish list a day. Barely above one wish list a day, and it hasn't felt very good. So if the Steam Next Fest doesn't work out, you hope for a post-released miracle, but after that, it's kind of just moving on to next projects. So, hoping for the best, but not expecting a huge success from this game, despite the fact that I really like the game that I made. I really like it. You know, I've really kind of like, I can definitively say that I would not have even tried Platform Gun, but I would have bought Heal to Death because it's like, oh, this is so unique. I should try this game out. And it's like, yeah, it's exactly my type of game. So I've achieved that. I don't really know what else to say other than the polishing phase is definitely an interesting time period because I feel so much stress to work out what I don't know. It's the case of I don't have any like super big things that I need to work on, but I have to try make this game the best it can possibly be, and there's always going to be these issues that I just don't recognize at the time, and I'm just very afraid that I'm gonna miss something big if I don't play test enough. And unfortunately, the play test is like the game is pretty difficult, so getting play testers to do the later content is really really hard. Uh, and unless I want to like leak an early build of my game out that has more than just the first main zone and a tutorial zone. But anyway, that's it for me. The polishing phase is going very smoothly from a development perspective. The compromises have been made to make sure that it ships in April, and hopefully I'll have a good Steam Next Fest. I'm gonna make a video of it on it regardless of if it saves my game, that's awesome. If it doesn't, I'll still make a video on it just to talk about it because this game dev thing is definitely one hell of a journey, and oh my god, I thought that making games was the hard bit, but now I know that I'm capable of doing it. I'm capable of making a good product, but am I capable of making a good product that sells? That's the bit that I don't know yet. Anyway, I'll make some more videos on what I think. Anyway, that's it. Bye.